Hey everyone, my name is Dave from Eagle Brook Music, and I'm here with my good friend Jasper Nephew, and we're going to talk about the song Whole Heart.
Amen.
Amen. All right.
Yep.
This song is not a rocker. It's sort of just in the middle the whole time. Why don't you talk us through some of the main parts?
All right. So it starts off just the intro is kind of ambient, particle, verby.
I can do that if you like.
Yeah, if you want to add that on there. You know, just you can also do this with swells or anything, just to create a bed, just to get some atmosphere happening in that.
We like a bed of something.
Yeah.
In intros before the song starts. That's a theme.
It's smooth as.
Yeah.
Smooths everything. It smooths everything out, and just kind of creates somewhere to go.
What's the swing thought on verse 1 for you?
Yeah, so I wanted there to be enough of a part, but not anything to get any huge amounts of attention or anything. It's just literally just right. Just the chord changes.
Yeah.
And it's just 2-note chords, so these are called tenths. If I was to do the whole chord,
then it would be Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, right. Yeah, or All Along the Watchtower. It's like a bunch of stuff. But yeah, if you get subtractive with how many notes you're adding, especially with the delays and having the kind of percussive part of the delays be the interest element. So it's like, that's pretty much it. There's one place in the verse where it goes, changes chords. A big, C chord, but with the G on the bottom. I'm talking from the capo.
Yeah, so let's talk about that for a second. You're using a capo. Is that because you don't know how to play it? Open?
Yes, that is true.
So that's a crutch.
It's a crutch. No one should ever use a capo. No, this is because I like the sound of this shape with the open string. So it allows me to grab the benefits of playing in the key of C, even though I'm in C sharp. So, I have these open strings available.
Any tips for players on putting a capo on and staying in tune? Because
it can be a complete nightmare. Check that your capo, if you have the ability to adjust the tension amount, have it be as little as possible without getting any buzzing. So you still want it to obviously do its job and clamp down the strings, but not pull them sharp. So the other thing that a lot of people, and I didn't know this until way too late, but where you put the capo on the fret is really important. So you want it to be right behind the metal fret. Just
on it.
Not on it, because that's going to just be like a palm mute. It's going to just kill the string. You want it to be right behind. If you go further back,
which I see that a lot too.
Yeah, and if you're like in the heat of the moment where you're trying to get to the next song and whatever, it's hard. But you just get in the habit of putting it right behind the fret. It needs the least amount of grip and tension to make the string ring out right there. So it just helps your intonation so that you're not out of tune.
So when you put the capo on, just to clear this up, do you tune again with the capo on?
If there's any possible chance that I have in the song, I will retune. In the intro, if the keys player's got an intro or something, I'll try to get to it.
Because a lot of people will tune and then they'll pop on the capo and then they're sharp or flat or something.
And if you don't have very much time, I'll even think like, what's my next part, and what's the most important string that could go sharp or flat, and then
next level.
I'll focus on So and then I'll focus on like the high 4 strings or something if it's like a high partial chord or something. Yeah, halfway into the first chorus, let's see. it's even though I'm just arpeggiating, there's still kind of a part, like a repetitive aspect to it to create kind of a faux hook, so that your ear is just expecting something, it's just kind of fun to listen to. So it's very simple. It's just 3 notes, and little tiny partial chords, and then there's a I think is it on the tag or something. Yep. It goes.
That line is the one that gets stuck in my head all day long.
Yeah, it's like just a little bit of a melody.
It plays beautifully off the vocal where it happens.
Yep. Yeah, there's a little bit of a space there for something to happen.
Verse 2, you basically kind of build on verse 1. Similar deal. Chorus 2, you start to bring that line in a little stronger.
Same
at the top of the chorus.
Same kind of little arpeggiating thing.
Do you want to play chorus 2, and then I'll have your slide ready?
Yes.
For the bridge. We've mastered the art of getting the slide on.
Yeah,
you'll notice in the video.
Yep. So. Absolutely. And then just,
When you play the rest with the slide on.
It's just there's no real opportunity to chuck it on the ground. The last chorus, just kind of adding a new element. So it starts.
Working with the vocal.
Yeah, and it's cool. The piano also doubles that. And so that's also a really helpful thing, and it can be really cool for layering. It's just like listening to what another melodic instrument's doing, like a keyboard or piano, and just jumping on it with them. Not being annoying about it and just like always doing it, but just
knowing when to sync up.
Yeah, and that just reinforces it, especially in a big. Like there's drums happening and all this other production, so the piano can just kind of disappear in that. Yeah. So if you jump on it, it'll really make it pop out. So yeah.
So you're really in this song, you're not even using an overdrive. You're just playing harder as it goes.
Yeah, and you can set up an overdrive pedal to do this, where it's most overdrives you can turn the drive down and just really it's almost like a compressor where the harder you hit, it's all of a sudden registering as it is overdriving a little bit.
Yeah.
Versus like having a super just clean sound.
In my mind, you are the master of effects. You're the master of sounds. I'm sorry.
God bless.
What are some quick tips for people who are struggling with delays, verbs? What are the things that you're thinking about? Like, are you stacking delay and verb together? Are you doing multiple delays? How do you get your sounds?
It's hard to answer because it's different for every situation. But in general, if you're running, delays and reverbs before your amp and you're cranking your amp, so you're getting saturation there, you can have that stuff kind of fart out and just become messy.
Yeah.
And so watching your levels, your mix levels on stuff, and start lower.
One of the things that I've learned from you is just stacking delays, where I'll have one delay on a quarter note or a dotted eighth and one set differently with a different sound.
Yeah, this song is a good example of that, where one side. This is a classic trick, is to have the like a quarter note or an eighth note, something just right on the downbeat on one side, and then a dotted eighth or dotted quarter on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that, stereo, but it could be also just stacked in the middle, right in a mono guitar signal too.
That changed my world.
Yeah, I mean, because you get all this, you can play very simply, and just, less is more type thing, and then all of a sudden you add this delay, and it adds this percussive thing, and you start playing to it. That's the other important thing about adding these effects, is you're really listening to, you're playing to your effects as well. You're not just, playing a bunch of notes, because it just becomes
just
a
mush.
mess. Yeah.
You switch from a glass slide to a metal slide. Why?
So a glass slide, it has a little bit less grip on the strings, so you don't get as much rasp. I call it rasp. It's like a metal slide is going to have a little bit more grip, metal on metal. So you can get kind of these cool, it doesn't sound like much as I'm doing it right now, but it's another way of doing kind of a pad sound. Just filling it in, but it has like this more organic flavor to it,
So glass would just be too clean.
And glass wouldn't grip the string that
Yeah.
well. It just, you have to work really hard, and I don't want to work too
Here,
hard.
I'll take that.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah. Cool.
I think that's it. That was awesome.
There we go.
You're the man.